Hey Geeks and Gamers, it's Candace, aka Geeky Candy, bringing you another awesome article by Variety. Yes, Variety, of course, covering the most important topics of 2020, and that would be, has Bob Iger actually brought diversity, a proper amount of diversity, into the Disney company as he promised? Yes, that is the most important question on his departure, to make sure that the right amount of skin types are in his company in the right levels, making the right kinds of money. That is the most important thing. So let's dive in deep and find out what Variety really feels about, Bob Iger's attempts at diversity within the Disney company. Yes, he promised diversity in the executive ranks by 2021. He says, I'll change that before I leave. And that was simple, but it was a loaded pledge made last September by Bob Iger, the Walt Disney Company's former CEO and newly minted executive chairman, when asked him directly about his largely male, all-white executive leadership team. Iger made this inclusion vow, as New York Times columnist Maureen Dowd put it, last year while promoting his memoir, The Ride of a Lifetime. It was a time when many in Hollywood and on Wall Street assumed Iger would ride out the remainder of his contract through 2021 and name a successor at the finish line of his astounding career. And as we all know, that did not happen. This week, we had quite the shock finding out that he was stepping down for a Bob 2.0. But what of his pledge to implement inclusion at the very top of Disney, which earned a record-breaking $69 billion in 2019? In the Times interview, Iger admitted diversity was lacking in his C-suite. There are 10 executive leadership roles that report directly to the office of the CEO at Disney. Now, here's where that gets really fun. They actually go into detail of telling you which of the 10 are male and which of the 10 are female. And as it turns out, only 3 are female that report to him. And they say, okay, yes, at current, there is only one open position to where the company might appoint a non-white male head of the park's experiences and consumer products. It's the role Bob 2.0 just vacated. Yes, very important, non-white male. Got it. All right, moving on. The issue is front of mind for Disney employees, as both Bob 1.0 and 2.0 were asked about it directly during a town hall meeting held Wednesday on the Disney lot, called to discuss the CEO transition. Bob 2.0 took a question about inclusion, one person with knowledge of the town hall told Variety, and brought up his efforts to diversify staff while serving in his old job. Bob 2.0 spoke of annual strategic gathering. This is really interesting. Listen up. He said an annual strategic gathering where he brought in global leaders all over the world to, of all places, LA, to discuss Disney priorities. Can you guess what those would be? What the majority of those would be? Yes, he says, we actually devoted 50% of the meeting, the entire first half of the day, to talking about what we can do to actively bring more diversity and inclusion to our segment and affect our leadership, Bob 2.0 says. Now you wonder why maybe that putting diversity twice on that whiteboard for the High Republic, that rollout with it, it made no sense to me. Now it does. They literally bring in people from all over the world. They are paying these people to come fly to Los Angeles and then pay these other people that travel all around the world to speak of diversity in corporate workplace, basically just telling you less white male, more anything else. They pay them exorbitant amounts of money to have all of these people come and watch and listen to them about it. And then they go out and they still don't do anything really about it. Only 3 are female. But this is what they do to try to, balance out their guilt about it, I suppose. He goes on and says, it will certainly continue throughout the rest of the company. This is not something that is a side project. This is something that is peripheral or in any way tangential to what we do. And this is the really interesting part. We want to represent our audience the way our audience looks, feels, sounds, and is. And as a result, we take this very seriously. Tell me, Bob 2.0, what do you think the audience looked like? The one that saw The Rise of Skywalker? The one that you race pandered to? The one that you gender pandered to? The one that you queer pandered to? Explain to me, Bob, who do you think actually saw your movie? I'll give you a second. White males. Yes, white males made up the majority demographic that saw The Rise of Skywalker. Didn't see that coming, did you, Bob? Nope. Disney is not bereft of diversity and goes out of its way to inform shareholders of the strides it has made on the board of directors. At present, the board of 9 individuals is close to gender parity. There are 4 women and 5 men. 3 out of the 9 are racially diverse, the company said in a proxy statement for 2020. So they literally count you, heard you like sheep, making sure to pair you off by what you got downstairs and what color your skin is. I mean, that's all that really matters. That's all that really matters. They had to put this in a statement, a formal statement of how many vages and peni there are. It's so crazy. We're living in clown world, you guys. Efforts from Iger and Bob 1.0 and 2.0 should not stop at the executive level, noted one executive from a major production entity who has worked with Disney, speaking on the condition of anonymity. Anonymity? There we go. Citing the power and visibility of top creative jobs. This is really interesting. Listen to this. This is a clear classic example of what always happens when you start talking about diversity. It never is enough. Listen to this. That more strides could be made in leadership at Disney's film, television, and streaming properties. This will theoretically fall under Iger's new, strictly creative purview. See, it doesn't matter. They want, as long as there's a visibly less white men in all of these places, they can go do something else, but they cannot be at Disney. On the film side, the high-profile leaders include, and then they go into the females that work for the company on the film side. But they continue and mention others warily pointed to the trio of powerful females ousted in the aftermath of Disney's 20th Century Fox acquisition, including blah 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 blah. And then this is great right here. That's a sign that more needs to be done, they argue. Yes, how dare you? How dare you oust a female? Oh, you know that if you were to give the boot to anybody, Mr. Mouse, it needs to be a white male, or else you're going to hear about it. Yes, in fairness, nearly all of Hollywood's executive suites face similar issues, even with increased expectations around representation and unprecedented calls for inclusion like #OscarsSoWhite, which we all heard about. Progress is slow. Now, this quote right here really got to me. I mean, am I surprised? No. Did it anger me? Yeah. They say, even if there are many talented or capable people, it takes time to sift through and make sure there's some kind of progress. And that is not done haphazardly, said Dr. blah, 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 de blah, 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 of blah, 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 Carnegie Mellon, blah, blah. Yeah. So they're saying, yeah, you got to really just take your time to make sure that you eliminate the right white males and bring on the right non-white males. Yes, that's important. Can't do that haphazardly. Nope. It's a considerable effort to take on in under 2 years and shows how far removed we are in respect to actual diversity in corporate America. Frankly, it's not enough to put a few people in the C-suite. You don't want to give the impression that it's window dressing. Yeah, not window dressing. You mean not tokenism? Yeah. You know, like Finn and like other things you've done that just basically you just toss them in there to pander. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we want to make sure that that's not the case. So anyway, I thought this was just a wonderful article sort of showing where we're headed with Bob 2.0's position on Bob 1.0's inability apparently to keep diversity at the right level in Disney during his tenure. And, I'd like to know what your thoughts are about this below. What are your thoughts about Bob 2.0? Do you think that he is going to be able to produce, strong margins for Disney whilst keeping up with the diversity requirements, the necessities that society apparently is demanding on them? So yeah, let me know in the comments below. What do you think? Bob 1.0, Bob 2.0, does it really matter? Probably not. Curious what your thoughts are, and appreciate you guys hitting that thumbs up button and subscribing to Geeks and Gamers if you haven't already. And until next time, fandom, we'll talk to you later. Bye.
Hey everyone, it's Jeremy from geeksandgamers.com, and if you're a fan of Geeks and Gamers, please go to our website, visit our merchandise store. We have t-shirts, hoodies, hats, beanies, tank tops, and in the very near future, we're going to have many more products for you to choose from. So thank you for the support. We appreciate it. You guys have a great day, and we will talk to you later.